Gilbert Arenas is cooked. Now, the one Gilbert Arenas that's been super wild his whole career, the one that brought weapons to the NBA locker room, the one that has so many stories that you can tell of him just being wild and reckless and, just being off the walls, has been arrested. And not only he has been arrested, but he has been indicted on 3 charges: conspiracy to operate as an illegal gambling organization, operating as an illegal gambling organization, and lying to federal agents. Now, every crash out has their day. Every crash out one day will crash out to the point where there's no return. You will crash out to where there's no comeback. When this news first broke, everybody went crazy. Everybody was talking about it. I mean, you would have thought it was a RICO indictment. You would have thought he was part of a gang criminal organization and he got indicted under a RICO charge. You would have thought he was arrested by the CIA, the way everybody came down. The way everybody was talking about it, the way that the news broke, everything. You would have thought he just did the worst thing in the world. The truth is, ladies and gentlemen, me personally, I don't think Gilbert Arenas is going to get sentenced. I don't think he'll be convicted. I don't think this is going to go anywhere. Now, if y'all don't know, Gilbert Arenas was arrested with 5 other people, I think it is, or 4 other people, and he's the 5th. And like I said, it's for gambling charges. Apparently, he was renting out his home for poker games, and they say he had people taking cuts off every bet. He had women there that were doing services, favors for tips. If y'all know what I mean, I'm not going to get too into that because that's not my type of content, but that's a freaky ass boy right there. And then he had drinks. He was running like a casino. That's what they're saying. He was running like a casino. Now, apparently, he's also had somebody with him from like a big Israeli criminal organization or whatever it was. I'm also not going to get into that. That's not my type of content either. But the point is, I don't think Gilbert Arenas is going to be doing time. And with this clip right here,
you put a little bit more butter on them biscuits. I think I seen a little something. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I'm about to snitch for sure.
I definitely now don't think he's doing time. I mean, the man just admitted he's down to snitch. He's going to snitch. And to be honest with you, I don't blame him for snitching. Gilbert Arenas probably just renting out his crib. And he probably gave some of the things that they said, but not everything that he said. He probably didn't give anything at all. And then the other person just, set up everything how they wanted. And then also, I just think Gilbert Arenas just understands that that's not a life for him. Like, jail, prison, it's not a life for Gilbert Arenas, like, at all. Like, the way he operates, I mean, he's home. He has a whole bunch of, probably like a couple of cribs. He has a girl that he's been with. I've seen a lot of clips with him. He has the whole podcast, Gil's Arena podcast going on. He has a situation where he's allowing people that were friends with him when he was in the game playing, and now, they continue their relationship, but also staying with basketball, and also he's providing them with a situation to make money and continue building their relationships. I mean, this is going good for them. Gil's Arena has been amazing. There's so many times where I tune in and the podcast is just so interesting. They do have a lot of arguments, and I do feel like some of their takes now are kind of watered down and their fights are very, very high. But all in all, bro, I think it's very entertaining. I do still tune in. And the thing that I didn't like is, I'm not going to put this clip in the video, but Kwame Brown responded to him, and he was going crazy. Now, being happy somebody got arrested, being happy somebody, just had to pay $50,000 bond to get out.
Free. You better not.
Can't hold me, baby. They can't hold me. Hello.
Like, this type of things are not good, bro. Like, okay, I get his beef with Shannon Sharp. You want to be happy Shannon Sharp got fired from ESPN, cool. But Shannon Sharp also has other ways of making money, cool. I understand that. Being happy that somebody went to jail, and the reason why I'm not gonna put the clip in the video is because he curses a little too much, and I don't like that type of content on my YouTube. Like, I don't like too much cursing, but he curses way too much, and he's just too excited. Now, Gilbert Arenas didn't just stop there. Gilbert Arenas has this to say.
That boy get all his views off another person. So they go, Roxanne, turn on the real lights. And you can't entertain, huh? Hey man, I'm happy to get your page back popping because I just heard you just lost another one. Another one? Oh, come on, man. You gotta know how to maneuver. You know how to get. You can't even get out of YouTube jail.
And obviously, we all know him. He wasn't gonna stop. Like, he's gonna come out. He's gonna respond to you. And when he came out of jail, when he posted bail or bond, he had this video.
Free. You better not.
Can't hold me, baby. They can't hold me. Hello.
I mean, the guy is constantly taunting people. And Stephen A. Smith also responded to him with this.
And in light of what he's being accused of, however, I'm still going to say to Gil, bro, I need you not to play around. Because, my brother, I don't want to see you in jail. It's not a good look. It's nothing to laugh about. It's nothing to joke around about and think it's funny when the feds come raiding your home. I don't want to see that. I don't want to hear about anything like that. I can assure you, anybody that wants to do business with you, and I'm one of those people, ESPN, Underdog, a whole bunch of sponsors and advertisers, we don't want to see that.
But I think Stephen A. Smith thinks too much about, how can I say this? Like, he's comparing it to something that happened a long time ago in the game. Now, that's a little different. Like, comparing Gilbert Arenas back then when he was bragging on live television with, making gun gestures with his fingers and stuff like that after he had weapons in the NBA locker room, that's different because that's branding, that's money, that's advertisement. I understand why the NBA would do that. Now, the feds, yes, they do kind of move similar in that aspect, but at the same time, Gilbert Arenas is not a repetitive felon. He's not a returning criminal. I'm pretty sure that they want Gilbert Arenas, one, for lying, but two, mostly just to snitch. They just want him to bring them down. That's literally, I think that's the only reason why they went for him. Because if I'm not mistaken, he was not even the first person arrested. Like, they wanted everybody else first, and then they can pick him up, as just like, all right, you're part of this case. You know how feds usually work. They pick up the main people, whatever, and then they'll pick up somebody that's kind of included, but really has nothing to do with it. And it's like, all right, we know that you know what's going on. Either you're going to take this amount of years by going to trial and being convicted with them, or you're going to snitch. And Gilbert Arenas is going to snitch. So it doesn't really matter that he's coming out and, joking around too much, this, that, and third. I'm pretty sure he wouldn't do that if he knows the circumstances are too real. I mean, say whatever you want to say about him. He could be joking too much. He could be too much of, a hardhead. He could be, too much of a crash out, whatever the case might be. He's not joking around about this if it's too serious. If he knows that the feds are really coming down, they're cracking down on him, they're going to arrest him. And the gambling thing was from 2021 to 2022. And I think they just want the main guy. I think they really want the Israeli guy. They don't really want Gilbert Arenas like that. But they tell him, we know you know information. Just tell us the information so we can let you go. And since you already lied to federal agents, we can charge you with that. And each charge is like 5 years. I think it's up to 5 years for each one of them. Some of them might run concurrent. Like, it's really, really, honestly, in my opinion, it's not that big of a deal from his point of view. Everybody else included, GG's. And then also, I didn't like that Stephen A. Smith kept comparing this case to Diddy's case. My boy, it's not the same. Like, what Diddy was going through is completely different from what this case is. This case is like, we got the main guys, and now we need Gilbert Arenas as the icing on the cake. Now, if he snitches, we let him out. If he doesn't snitch, we're gonna charge him with these, and most likely he's gonna be convicted because everybody else is gonna go down. But it's up to him to fight it. Now, the way he's moving, and according to his lawyers and him, he's not gonna be convicted, bro. He might not even go to trial with them. I think he's just gonna talk to them, and that's it. Now, in the Diddy case, Diddy was the main target. They picked up Diddy. They didn't pick up anybody else. They picked up Diddy. This is not two cases that you can compare. It's two separate things, two separate charges. If I'm not mistaken, I think Diddy was picked up by Homeland Security. That's insane. That's like what they do to pick up. I can't even say that word, but it's the T word. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. Like people that real threats. Gilbert Arenas was just arrested by the feds. Now, yes, he did say that they, surrounded his house and it was like 40 officers, but I think that's because it was a big home. Not because they thought Gilbert Arenas was aggressive or he was a flight risk or, nothing of that nature. I think it's just a big home and they just wanted to make sure they had the right amount of people to search it, to find him, in case he decides to do something stupid, but most likely not. And then also the feds wouldn't let him out on $50,000 bond or bail if he was the main target, or if they deemed him as a threat, or if they, if they thought anything bad about him, they would not let him out. I mean, we've seen it right now with Lil Durk. We've seen it with Diddy. We've seen it with Young Thug. They're not letting you out if they deem you to be a threat of any type of kind. Like if they deem you to be a threat to yourself, to others, or even to the case itself, you're not coming out. Bad news out. Thank you so much for watching the video. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. This Real Talk with E. Safe.